Hey guys, it's Kelly from Pink Lemonade Company. In this video, Nita Bankston from Heifers and Halos joins us. It was a video that we did in our private Facebook group, which there's a link below if you'd like to join us. In the video, we talk about graphics, design software, how amazing ProCreate is on the iPad, the Photoshop and Fabulous course, the new up-and-coming mini course, How to Sell Digital Downloads. Anita also goes into how to handle negative reviews and difficult customers. We talk about people being copycats and using your artwork improperly. Anita also shares her hack for dealing with people who don't read product descriptions. So fun. This conversation was great, and there's so much in this video. I hope you enjoy.
All right, we are starting the live video. It is noon on Thursday. No, it is 11:59. Nope, just turned 12. And we're going to wait for everybody to come on. We have had just a little explosion in our group, and so I wanted to do a live. And hey, Miss Erin, welcome. And we're going to feature Nita because her business is really cool, and she's just a sweetheart, and I love what she's doing. And so we've been trying to set this up for like months, and there's just always been something, and then the holidays came along. And so we are going to, y'all just pile in the group, pull a seat up, get your drink. We're just going to hang out. It's so pretty here. It's supposed to be like 70 here tomorrow, and the weather's always a big deal, you know, because it can just like make a day so good. Or if it's all, I don't know, I like the rain, but just not like all the, you know, if it's cold and rainy. And I think I liked the rain before I had kids, because now it means, or before, especially before I had a dog too, because now when it's rainy outside, that means all that stuff comes in on the floors. So that's always fun. So y'all come in. If y'all can hear me, just somebody type in the comments below, so I'll know that I'm showing up and you can hear me and all that. I'm so happy that we are doing a live today because they're always so fun for me. And I hope they're fun for you. And we have just grown in this group. Oh my goodness. Corey said that they've had rain for 4 days, ready for warm sun. You know, the first 2 days of rain, I'm like, oh, this is so nice. Especially, you know, it's Texas, we need rain. But by the third or fourth day, like it is just, oh, you're just like, okay, enough already. So I always thought when I was a teenager that I wanted to live in Seattle, you know, or Washington and all that. And of course, because from the 90s and all that, and it was so cool to be from Seattle then, but I don't think I can handle it anymore. Like I don't love rain like I used to. Like I just think I really thrive off sunshine. So welcome, Cheyenne. Y'all come in. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, in California, like, yeah, y'all need that rain too. I always see about those fires and stuff. That's just crazy out there. Like every year, knowing that, you know, you can expect those fires. It's just so scary. It's a soggy, yeah, when it gets soggy, it gets really unfun. So okay, y'all. So what we have planned for today is Nita has been in this group for a while, and she's a member of PLC Creative Living, the graphics membership site, and so we're going to bring her on camera. We were in a practice group a little while ago, and we're like, oh, I could hear the biofeedback, or then I couldn't get her added on, and so hopefully it goes, you know, seamless in here, but if it doesn't, you know how we are, we just roll with it. So I'm going to try to add her. Okay, Miss Nita. Says that she is being added about this. I haven't got to do a joint live in months, and I think the last can you see
maybe in the summer. Okay,
y'all
tell me if y'all can hear me okay. I'm still hearing like the feedback and stuff.
So I don't know if everybody else can hear that.
That better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, now I can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear me okay, Nita?
I can.
Okay, cool. Good. Okay, if somebody will just comment that they can, okay, I think the echo's maybe gone now since she's all plugged in. Let's see. Do you still hear an echo, Corey? Yay! I think we're set. Nita, thank you so much for joining me. I know we've been trying to do this for a few months, and we were kind of back and forth, and then the holidays caught up with us, and I think your father had surgery, and like it was just a whole big bunch of stuff. So, you know, life always gets in the way, but fortunately, I think we're more
settled,
ready now. So, yeah, right. Something else will come up soon. But so, Nita, if you will just tell us a little bit about your business. She has Heifers and Halos, which is such a cute name. And are you here in Texas also?
Ma'am. I'm in
okay, awesome.
Northeast Texas.
Northeast. Okay. So what's the weather like there today?
Nasty. It was kind of sunny, but it's so wet here. We can't do anything outside, and it's just, you know, we're kind of...
That makes for a miserable day. I know. I'm in Abilene, which is more like west, and it's so pretty here today, and it's supposed to be really nice tomorrow, but then we're going, like, getting a cold front, and it's going to go back down into the 30s. So you know how it is in Texas. Like, it's just always changing every second. So anyway, tell us, like, how long have you been in business?
Well, I retired from teaching in 2015, and I got bored, and so I bought a Cricut in 2016 in January, and I didn't open it until April because I was really afraid to. And once I got started in it, I was looking for designs that were ag-related, and everything I found on Etsy, they may have been a bull, but it had a huge udder, and I was like, that's not going to work. So I just started kind of creating my own, and I did t-shirts for a little while, and they overwhelmed my house. I mean, there were t-shirts everywhere, and, you know, the press and all that stuff, and so I got rid of them all and just started doing designs. So I opened my Etsy shop in 2017, and that's what I've been doing primarily since then. It's just doing the SVGs.
I totally feel you on the t-shirts, because we used to do t-shirts too, and all of a sudden you're like, I mean, you always have something to wear, which is nice, but it takes up so much room, and you have to have so much inventory and just, you know, boxes and boxes of shirts. And I think that was one of the reasons I was really excited about move to the digital world too, because there's no clutter, and it, you know, there's very little overhead, and so it's just so nice to have that passive income. And plus, like, once you create it, and you can sell it over and over. That's why I'm like telling everybody, just get involved in this, because it's so nice to be able to create it and then sell it as many times as you need to. Like, that's such an awesome feature of it, and it's really hard to, you know, resist that. So, so you sell on Etsy, but you also have a website too. Is that correct?
It's associated with Etsy. It's Etsy runs it too, but I do like my blog or my newsletter on there, and some other things. And I have a t-shirt shop, just a virtual one, you know, that they fulfill through Printful or whatever. And I don't know, I feel like when I'm doing that, I lose focus on my designs. And so, I don't know, I'm probably going to combine them into one store, because, you know, I have both, and so it's just kind of too much to keep up with.
Totally, yeah, I get that. I've got like 3 websites right now, and it's like I've got this here and this here, and of course I don't focus on much other than the graphics now, but I get that. So your website, is it the, I think I remember when Etsy came out with that, they would kind of like host the website for you. You can kind of create it through them. Is that what that is?
They have a set format that they use, and I don't really like it, but, you know, I went in and I bought my domain through GoDaddy or someone like that, and then Etsy just kind of runs it. So whenever I pull up a file to my Etsy shop, it goes automatically to my website. I don't have to do anything. I just one place, and they put it up there. In they call it Pattern, but that's what it is.
Pattern. That's what I was trying to think of the name, because I remember seeing that. Yeah, that's so cool, because when I went to your website a while back when we talked about doing this, like, I didn't really know that it was an Etsy website. I thought you just had your own site, but that is so awesome. So you like it so far?
I get frustrated trying to figure out, because it seems like Etsy changes a lot with their keyword search.
Yeah.
You've got to learn all this long tail keyword and whatever. And so I just kind of do it the way that I've been doing it, because when I went in the fall of 2018, you know, when they changed everything, and I changed all my stuff up, and then my sales just stopped. And I was like, I guess I was doing it right from the beginning, because now, you know.
Right.
So,
and that's kind of the thing with online business. It's so much trial and error, you know, because things, of course, Facebook changes all the time. Instagram changes all the time. Like, everything is changing, and you really, I know, like, I do Facebook ads a lot, and I'm running an ad right now that's doing really well, but I did one 2 weeks ago that did nothing, and it's so, you know, it's just constantly testing, and then, of course, testing your products, and, you know, it's a lot of work, but, you know,
it's worth it,
I guess it beats going It is. I know. I know it's not for everybody, but I mean, you know, it definitely does have its benefits. So, Corey said I was wondering about having one store or two. Yeah, like I have the graphic memberships. I have my Etsy shop, but it's mostly just kind of a feeder shop just to get people to find the graphic membership site. And then I have where I sell the business cards and branding and website design and stuff. And of course, I never advertise for that anymore. And mostly it's just because I have a whole clientele of people that reorder from there, so I can't get rid of that store. And I always, you know, I guess with creative people, sometimes you want to do T-shirt designs, and sometimes you want to do just, you know, individual graphics. And so I guess it's still there. So because sometimes I do want to design website design, I just don't want to constantly do it like I used to.
I think the main.
So,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think the main thing that was the easiest part for me getting into Etsy was I knew what niche I wanted to go to, you know, but once I got in there, I couldn't figure out how to fit all my little ducks in a row to where I want this to be here and this, because in my mind it's like that, but when I started stretching it out on, or trying to stretch it on Etsy, it's just too much. Like, I know what I want to do and I keep it all in one spot. And if I get emails on the second store, I may not get them until the next day because it's not directly linked to my phone. And so I always found that was kind of, or I always feel like that's kind of confusing to me, you know, to have it too stretched out. When it's all the same, it's all the same company, it's just little different areas, you know, I guess I'm what I'm trying to say, but.
Yeah, I get it. I know, and with the Etsy store, like I like how they do the sections. But it would almost be kind of cool if they could break it further down from that. And so with that aspect, I'm like, it's kind of nice to have a website too, just so you, you know, kind of have it like you want to have it. So what do you think your best-selling item is? Like, what is it? What was your best-selling item for 2018? Was it like the graphics or the T-shirts?
Oh, it was the graphics. I didn't even start my T-shirt shop online until November, I think. I'd been meaning to get it started, but everything just happened last year. And so, let's see, the best-selling thing probably was that bandana heifer that I did. I'm so sick of that. I love it, you know, but I'm just like, it's everywhere. And I'll see people and I'm like, I drew that. And they're like, oh, well, I bought it from so-and-so. I said, I know. You know, it's everywhere. It seems like it's everywhere to me.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't even own one of those. I'm like, done. So
that's so funny. Yeah, like you've seen it enough where you don't necessarily feel like you want to rep it. It totally gets
everyone
that.
else can.
Okay. Corey said, so would you recommend having graphics and finished items together? I feel so overwhelmed. And I think the overwhelm is so easy to do. So what do you think, Nita? Are you talking about like actual physical products, Corey, like T-shirts or that sort of thing? Or, let's see, I bet she's talking about like a finished thing. Which I remember dealing with that too, because I had a few T-shirts on the website or Etsy, and then I had graphics, and it was kind of like, well, what am I working towards, you know? Or I had business cards on there with graphics, and it did get a little overwhelming. But then on the other hand, you make signs and sub items. Okay. For me, I think it's kind of a personal choice, you know, as far as like, I don't know, because I could see where I love designing for T-shirts. But, you know, the business, for me, I think it's more like I just want to do digital products. But at one point I had both, you know, physical products and digital products in there. Do you have any, like, thoughts on that, Nita?
I think it's, Corey, that if it's along the same theme, like if I were doing just cow stuff, or, you know, all my stuff on Heifers and Halos is pretty much ag-related or sassy sayings or whatever. But if I were going to do, like, beach-themed items or, you know, farmhouse stuff, I could leave it on there. But if I had a mixture of different just themes, I wouldn't want them all in the same shop, because people aren't going to come to me looking for Kardashian stuff. You know, that's not my cup of tea or whatever, you know. So I think that's probably why. But as long as you can keep it balanced and juggle it, it's pretty much whatever you want to do.
I totally agree with that. Like, yeah, I think if it works for you, then you should do it, because you're going to have the energy to put into it. If it's something you're like, this is just not working, then obviously, you know, it's not. I think I totally agree with that. Like, and I know with I know your stuff, Nita, and my stuff, like they kind of have a specific style. So it worked okay if I sold t-shirts and graphics just because they were all in the same style, and it wasn't like I was over here and over here and over here. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think it really just comes down to like if it works for you and it's something you have the passion to keep, sustainable, then keep going, go after that. And then Sean said, that's the question I have. One site I sell t-shirts and things through, and then create a totally different site with different names for designs, but don't know if I should have them put together. And then it cuts off. I can't see the rest of it. Yeah, and that's tricky too, because you don't want to have your energy going in two different ways, because that's a lot to put up with, and getting exposure on social media and online. It's so tricky, and so it'd be hard to, and I learned a lesson from that, because when my sister and I did t-shirts, we just had, the junky, just my style, the junky camper truck stuff, and we're like, oh, let's do like 90s grunge t-shirts. No, we couldn't put that together in one site, and so we just decided for fun we'd create a whole different site. And we did that for about 2 months, and then we realized, like, heck no, we're not going to do this. This is too much work. It's taken me years to build up, a huge following for PLC, so I'm not going to go off and do that on another thing. And also, like, when I couldn't promote them on the same social media page because it was just two different styles. So again, I would say it's a personal choice.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's a lot of work, to do two different sites like that. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that,
Well,
Nita?
if you're going to start from scratch, like if I were starting over with a totally different style, like if I were going to start doing more of the funky trailer type graphics that Kelly does, I would probably create a whole new store for that. Probably. I don't know. But just simply because it's just different. But at the same time, you need to look at it as people know me by my brand, just like they know you by, if I see a shirt in Dallas that you've done, I can tell that it's yours. Or if somebody else tried to do it,
Right.
I can tell the difference between designers. And I think that, people will see shirts and like, oh, I can tell Nita made that because it's her style. And so you can pull in more people that way that know you and ask them to share it. Or, it's to start over from scratch, basically, I guess, if that makes any sense at all. It's just, you've got to find a balance, and that's the hardest thing for me to do, is to find a balance between what my customers expect and what I really want to get out there and do something crazy. I can, like do a complete neon line. I think that would freak people out.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I've seen this so many times with creatives, because we do want to do it all. It's like, I want to do this, and now I want to do this. And I bought a silhouette, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to start cutting vinyl. That seems fun. And of course, I know it wasn't my thing, and I tried it 2 times, and I made a cute little sign. I'm like, okay, I'm done. And it seems like creatives are kind of all over the place, and they probably lose passion, lose interest in it pretty quickly. And so, okay, let me go back up here. I don't want to miss Sandy. She said she's just getting started, still learning and trying to pull it all together, planning to start selling transfers and shirts upon order and grow from there. I think that is excellent, because, yeah, and it seems like you could almost get stuck in that planning phase where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this and this. And at the end of the day, I think if you just get out there and start and throw something online, fill up your Etsy store with 10 designs or however many you can get out there, and just start there, because once you start that journey and start that process, then you can you learn so much, just from that action, taking the action and then going from there. So get out there and do it. I totally know that you can. Cheyenne says, hold on, I had monogramming and sublimation that was geared towards Western, but things changed and we don't travel to events, so now I got to designing as a way to get more stuff out there. Yeah, I know, because, these shows that I'm sure that we've all done are now, I don't do them anymore. There's so much work. And if you can't travel to those events, it does kind of change things up. Love that y'all throw something out there. Yeah. I think that's the key, is just taking that action. And it's so easy to get stuck in that and just be like thinking it has to be perfect or, whatever. But once you get it up there, then you learn. Just like when I was talking about how I was like, oh, I'm going to do a 90s t-shirt thing just because I love the 90s stuff. And I threw it out there, and I don't have any regrets on it because I learned. But I was like, okay, no, I really do need to stick with this. This is what's working. I'm not going to go off in left field and start this again.
I agree. Totally agree with that.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
All of it, it is so much work. And thankfully it, you know, it feeds my creativity, which I'm sure it does for everybody in here because everybody's so creative. But yeah, it's a lot of work too.
And something that you need to be prepared for that you've taught me so much on, Kelly, is whenever you start putting up designs on Etsy, and even though you put your watermark on them, people take them and you'll see them everywhere, and it used to drive me crazy. And now I'm just where, take it if you want it. I'll even send it to you if you want it. And because if I sat there and worried about everything that got copied and, you know, who's using that, and, you know, it would drive me crazy. So I've learned that from you, that I just need to chill out about it. People are going to do what they want to do. If they want to adapt, you know, a cow and turn it into a camel, whatever. But just, you know, be patient with it, and try not to get bogged down in the small stuff. That's another thing. It used to really bother me when I'd get a negative review. I don't sweat it anymore because I've got so many I'm not bragging, but you know, the positive outweighs the negative every time. And and try not to stay focused on that. And I do like your comment about just jump in there. That's what you got to do. You know, jump in there. And if you need help, email me or Kelly and ask, because I ask her stuff all the time that just,
definitely.
that's the good thing about it.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that, because it is so easy, I think, to get stuck and like, they're copying me, or, you know, like, or I'll see like my graphics being misused. And sometimes I do. I'll send them a message and just say like, please don't do that. That goes against the terms. 99% of the time they don't know. But there are those people that will out and out just like, I don't care. I'm going to use it however you want. And my thing, like, I kind of made a conscious decision when I first started doing this. I was like, you know what? That's fine if they're going to copy, but they're not going to be able to keep up with that. You know, like, how many times can they copy? If they don't have anything original that they can create themselves, then there's going to be an end of the line at some point. So I just try not to get too dogmatic. Yeah, but if you don't make a conscious choice to be like, okay, I'm not going to pay attention to them stealing my graphics, or I'm not going to take, you know, that negative review. I used to get emails and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so hard, because it is so hard to say like, yeah, I have all this positive stuff, but that one negative can just scream at you. And so I really had to work with my business coach to be like, okay, look, this person did this. They said this about me, and it kept me up all weekend. How do I get past that when I've got 10 emails over here saying like, oh my gosh, I just found you, I love you, or, you know, you do. It's so crazy how the negative can just be so much louder than way more positive. And yeah, getting to a place now where I'm like, I see it, I'm like, whatever, I don't care anymore, because I'm just not going to waste the energy on it. But you do have to come to that choice where you're just like, this is how I'm going to do things. I'm going to stay in the positive. I'm staying in my own lane. I'm not going to look over here and seeing that you're totally, you know, ripping me off or whatever. And then, because it is hard, especially when you create something that's
your,
you know, when it's like from your heart and stuff. Yeah,
it is. It feels like a piece of you.
Yeah.
And then the nasty.
It does.
When you get a really, just a hateful customer that just pushes every button that you have and makes you mad, let it just walk away from the computer. Don't engage. And even in groups, I've learned, I don't even get in those groups that are negative anymore. You can tell by the vibe. Just don't, you know, the more you're engrossed in stuff like that, the more it affects you creatively, physically, mentally, whatever. Just, you know, try to stay away from that. And if a customer sends you a nasty email, just walk away, calm down, come back to it later, and just, you know, spin it on them. Always be the bigger person. I tell my kid that all the time. Be the bigger person, walk away, because they're trying to get you riled up and you know, and I can't do that. And I think that's something to remember too when you first start a business. You're learning, and there are people who, misery loves company, but there are people out there that just get on there and try to, you know, get under your skin, just shake it off and walk away. That's what you've got to do. Because it messes with your creativity if you don't.
Totally, yes. Like, I can sit there and let it ruin my whole weekend, and I'm like, I just ruined a whole weekend with my kids, and they don't, you know, I'm like, they don't deserve to not have me present because I was worried about someone stranger that I have no idea who it was, you know, did to me or whatever. Like, yeah, I love that you brought that up, because that is such a big thing. Hey, Stephanie, welcome. Come on in. And, yeah, it could eat you alive.
$3.25 file. I'm not going to.
Right.
That's the way I started looking at it.
Yeah, definitely. And one that it's not like and I was thinking about that. I was like, because I've had, like, for instance, some people signed up for the Photoshop course, and I had very, very few. I'm so thankful, but they didn't feel like they wanted to pay for the rest of it when I did payments. And I'm like, you know what? Good luck to them. That if that's how they handle their business, then that's on them. I can't, worry about that. I'm like, it's not like they stole any inventory off my shelf, because it's yeah, they have the knowledge, but hopefully that will turn them into a better person or something. I don't know, but like, yeah, it's hard to deal with that, definitely.
It really is.
But at the end of the day, like you said, it's not worth the energy, and it does. It screws with your creativity, and so that screws with you making money and, your livelihood.
And like you said, your family time,
So,
that's one thing that we need to...
Exactly.
I try to make sure that, for several years, I told you I taught agriculture science, and I was gone from January to March, and that took away, I had a little, my son was 6 at the time, he's 22 now, but, if this business that I'm in and that business starts interfering with my family time, it's not worth it. Even if you're making a killing at it, it's not worth it in the long run.
It's not. Yeah, this is time away from our kids. And I remember when I used to work in the hospital, like 12-hour shifts as a respiratory therapist, and it was fun. I liked this so much more. But this one lady, this one coworker, she said, this is not worth me being away from my family. Like I think she had to deal with like a really nasty patient or something. And that just kind of stuck with me. I was like, yeah, whatever you're doing is work. You really need to make sure it's worth being away from your family. And we don't always have choices necessarily, but, I get that, and how I approach work and how I let that, run my day or make my day or whatever. The people that I go home to at the end of the day, like if I still need to show up for them. So yeah, I love all these points. This is such a good conversation.
Just stay positive.
Okay, Stephanie says, I'm in the transfer. Yes, exactly. And that's such a conscious choice too, like sitting there, because that stuff can eat you alive, and you're like, nope, not going to engage in that. It's the sun shining or it's soggy wet or whatever, but I'm still going to show up, and I'm going to, there's so much goodness that can be found in this day. Okay, Stephanie says, I'm in the transfer business, and we get a ton of customers who can't read the print that states all the information. That's the thing, I'm sure we've all dealt with that too, because nobody really takes the time to read. And it's hard because, I get that. Not everybody reads those terms, and especially with graphics and transfers, there's very specific terms usually attached to those.
Stephanie, I have a suggestion.
And I think that's one reason.
I have a suggestion on that.
Do it. Okay, go for it. Yeah.
A lot of people were downloading my files and not reading that it was a file, a digital file, instead of a vinyl. So instead of copying the same information over and over, I have a YouTube channel that I did a short video on some screen capture deal, and it's just me talking and showing them how to do it. Do it one time, and whenever they ask you that question, Stephanie, just send them an email with the YouTube link, and you're done. And that, you don't have to do any more.
That's brilliant. Yes, I remember when I was first starting out or in school or something, I can't remember who told me this, but they were like, make your website work for you. And in the same way, I'll make video work for you, where you're not having to say it or type out an email after email or deal with angry customers. Yeah, that's brilliant, just to create a video and feel like
it saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely. And we don't have enough of that as it is. So any shortcuts like that is really awesome. Okay, we've been going about, let me see, about 30 minutes. So
I've been crazy.
That is such a good idea. So we've been going 30 minutes. If anybody has any more questions, leave them below. I'm so happy to see all the new members in, and of course to see all the members that have been here for a while still engaging. That's probably even more exciting to me, because I know it's hard to, stick with, there's so many Facebook groups that I've joined and I don't have contact with them anymore. And so it's exciting to see people stay around too. And then of course, if you're catching the replay, feel free to leave a question, and we can go in and answer them later too. So we'll wait a few more minutes. Do you have anything else to add, Nita? I love this conversation. You've added so much goodness to this video today.
If, like you said, if y'all have any questions, just leave them for us, or if you want to email either one of us, we'll answer what you can, or we can. And I really do appreciate Stephanie. I was reading Stephanie's comment. Kelly doing the Photoshop and Fabulous video, because that's what drew me in and what allowed me to get to know her a little bit better, and the positive things that she brings. She has a lot of the goal setting and the stuff that I really need. You want to know how I learned design? Through YouTube videos. That's how I learned how to do it. I mean, like I said, I farmed and ag teach and all that kind of stuff. So I learned through just watching the YouTube channel. And I had met a girl in a group, and she taught me how to use Inkscape. And then now I can do the Inkscape. And I went to iPad. And so everything that I learned online. Because I can't sit in a classroom and do that. I'll be doing circles. I'm too hyper.
Yeah. That's a good question. Jennifer, if you're new with graphics, you're in just the perfect group because this does really have a lot of beginner stuff in it. And we actually have a Photoshop course that is not currently it's not open for enrollment, but it will be soon. And I'll leave the link so you can sign up just to be notified when that will open. And we've had a lot of people take that course. Like there's so many people in here. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Cheyenne says, which programs do you use to design in?
Well, I kind of created a monster on this one. I started out using Cricut Design Space, and then Design Space has its own little monster side. So I started doing Inkscape.
Oh, it's kind of froze up. I think is it? Thank you, Corey, for saying the Photoshop course here is the best. I so appreciate that. I love it to death, and I've just had so many people come through and say, like, it's really great. So I appreciate that. Nita, you're frozen over there. That's how it looks on my end. I don't know if everybody else can see her. Let's see. I will just tell you, oh, I don't know what happened to her. I hate that because it was such a good conversation. Nita, if you're still around, I will be happy to add you back on. Let's see. Y'all bear with us for just a minute. I'm going to try to add her back on. Okay, it looks like we're going to get her back in here. While we're waiting for her to come back. She's here. There she is.
Okay. Oh, y'all are asking what kind of programs I use? Hang on. I'm trying to get my phone set back up.
Okay, take your time. Get settled in.
Now it's going to be crooked.
Stuff happens.
I'm crooked now.
We can still hear you.
Hear me? I started out with Design Space, and it's crazy. Then I went to Inkscape, and I use Inkscape a lot. And then I moved to Kelli through Photoshop. I used Silhouette because people wanted the Silhouette files, so I had to teach myself that. And then I used what is the one in Adobe that you use to do SVGs and stuff? I can't think of it.
Oh, the
Illustrator some. And then now I use the ProCreate. I love ProCreate on iPad. If y'all don't have an iPad Pro, you need to get one. That's my current.
Amen to that.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
I found out this weekend, I think I emailed you and told you that you can do, I pull in PLC designs, her designs, and incorporate them with my drawings and stuff. And I love it because I don't ever have to go search for paper because Kelli has it. And I can go pull up any kind of little funky extra design, and I pull it in there and use it. And it's just awesome because I'm telling you, ProCreate is so awesome. I just can't say that enough.
It is. Like, yeah, I started using that last year, and oh my gosh. And then you can, like I will design something in there, put it in my Dropbox, and then I'll pull it into Photoshop if there's anything that I can't do in ProCreate, which it does, quite a bit. But like just like where you can, use two programs on one design always makes it awesome. But yeah, I started using, I guess the beginning of last year or whatever, but it was so much fun. Like it's addicting. And it's one of those things you can lay in bed and do, or sit on the couch and do, it's just so portable.
Yeah, it is.
Morgan says, what is so good about ProCreate? I'm debating on an iPad, but can't decide if it's worth it. I can't draw a stick man. You know what? That's the thing. Like for summer, do you have it? I don't even know. My children borrow my iPad all the time, and I have no idea where it is half the time. I got the Apple Pencil and the
I don't know if you can see that.
and I can't draw either, but I'll use graphics. It's worth it because it's like ProCreate, of course the iPad's a little bit of money, but it's a good investment. But ProCreate, I think it's like what, $10 for the app or something?
I think so. This is one I did. I know it's backwards, but I drew the cow graphic and then pulled in Kelli's paper and then just kind of hand wrote that. But I used some of the gold glittery stuff was from Kelli too, and then I used it in Instagram, and then I put it on. You can do all kinds of stuff in it, and you don't have to be able to draw because there's a cartooning thing that you can do that I learned to do on my nieces. I'll show you if I can find it. that I drew my little niece who plays basketball in Tennessee. And I put my hearts on that court, and I just traced her picture, and I colored it in and just kind of shaded it a little bit. And I'm going to put it on a T-shirt for her and her mom and my stepmom and my sister. And so it's just kind of, there's so much stuff that you can do in here, and I can draw out an SPG or whatever I want to, and just, you know, pull it into whatever. Here's one I was playing with Kelli stuff yesterday or the other day, and then I got sidetracked. So
yeah, it's almost like it's mixed media. You know, when I always think about mixed media, I think of actual physical stuff, like where if I'm going to use like paper and oil paint and this and that and Mod Podge. But it's like with that ProCreate, you can just pull in this and pull in that. And I started buying the brushes off at Etsy, like, you know, how you can import the brushes into it and stamps. There's so many YouTube videos, stamps. It's so much fun. And I like it, again, because it's so portable, and I can do it on the weekend. I don't have to be like in my office.
Or in the doctor's office.
Let me catch. Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah, you could be out and about. Let's see, Cheyenne. She asked if you can pull designs into ProCreate and create with it, and that's it. Definitely. No, let me say, okay, Nita, you had the cows with the Christmas, and I think it said like Mooey Christmas or whatever. Did you do that in ProCreate?
Let me see where I did it. I think I did. Either did. Was it let me see which one it was. Oh, I also do my mock-ups in here too.
Oh, that's awesome. Cheyenne said, what are some good beginner add-on brushes? You know, honestly, you don't even need beginner brushes because it comes with so many. And I buy some just because I wanted to learn the process of installing them and that kind of thing, but I don't really use a lot of the brushes that I buy. I use mostly what's already in there. It comes with so much stuff.
Trying to find one. Oh, the one I did this one is partial. I pulled in the Hocus Pocus cow one. I used Kelly's class to do the cows, and then I drew the hair and stuff on there, and then just kind of wrote on the side of it. So if you have ProCreate, you can pull almost anything. If it's a PNG or a JPEG, I don't understand the whole TIFF or whatever it's called, but I do those and just pull them in, and then you create layers just like you do in Photoshop. But to me, it's simpler when my mind is simple at 2 o'clock in the morning and I don't feel like dragging out the laptop.
Yes.
So it's a lot of fun. I mean, you know, even if you just draw circles, and, you know, it has all kinds of the different brushes right here. And so I do a lot of inking, and my son's a cartoonist, so he uses it a lot too and does different things on there. So, you know, it's worth it. If you guys have the money to invest in that, it is more than worth it. Even to de-stress.
Yeah, it is.
Because you can get coloring page apps in there and just color if you're somebody who likes to color. I'm having difficulty.
Yes. Oh, you're good. One weekend, I know, I was just drawing like I can't remember what it was, just different circles and little swirls and color them in. And I actually turned them into paper. Like, it was so cool because it was just something I was using just to chill out, and then I actually turned it in paper, and I was able to sell it. Which brings me to another point, guys. If y'all are wanting to know how to do digital downloads or how to get into that, because it's an excellent side business or it's a full-time business, I'm going to be releasing the mini course hopefully next week or the week after that, how to sell digital downloads. And it's going to tell you how to take a design and put it on Etsy or put it on a website and sell, because it's a very automated process that you don't really have to be there for. You make the paper, you make the design, and then you upload it to wherever you're selling it. And then, like we said before, you can sell that over and over and over. And it's such a good feeling to wake up in the morning like, oh, I've already made money for the day and I haven't even got out of bed. That sounds so cliche because I know everybody's saying that across the internet, but it really is amazing. Or if you're on vacation and you want to go on vacation and you are making money while on your vacation, like, it's such a cool thing to do. Hey, for ladies want an iPad Pro and you can't get a new one, Facebook Marketplace is a good place to look for you.
Yes.
I don't use Facebook Marketplace a lot, but I know that I will be soon because it's so up and coming. Anyway, so if you want to learn how to do the digital design stuff, I'm going to offer it for like an insanely low rate in this class. I'm going to sell it to the public for $97 in this class, in this group. But for y'all in the group, it's going to be up for $27 if anybody wants to get on the first round.
Very much worth it.
Okay, I bought one. Thank you. Yeah, the Apple Pen.
That's good price.
I like the Apple Pencil thing or whatever. Yeah, that is a really good price.
I had 2 and my weenie dog ate one. My weenie dog puppy ate one the other day. I was so mad.
Oh my gosh,
it did hurt. It hurt badly.
Yeah. I have like a Wacom tablet with a pen, and I had a dog get one of those one time, and this was years ago. But you're just like, oh my gosh, if I could just rewind time just to stop that whole process would be awesome.
And I have the
Lori said she wants.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I have the Wacom too. I have one of those too.
Yeah.
It's not anything compared to the iPad Pro. I'm sorry. I've tried it. I just can't. It's way better.
It's taken me, like, it took a long time for me to get used to that. And I still use it on, like, daily basis when I'm doing designs. But the iPad Pro, just the way that pencil works on there and stuff, it is so intuitive. Yeah, it's so easy to do. Let's see. Lori said, I want to sell my designs but need guidance. This will be the class for you because I don't necessarily I go a little bit in how to design, and I've used Canva and PicMonkey just because they're free and they're entry-level kind of things. I will always recommend Photoshop for as long as I live because it's absolutely amazing, and I will always recommend ProCreate because it's so amazing too. But if you're just needing to get in there and just beginning stages of that, I do show you a little bit about that. But if you know how to make your designs already, I can show you how to do that too. So this is definitely the class that you're going to want to get in on. Yeah, go ProCreate. Y'all are going to become ProCreate addicts because it's so fun. It's so cool. And there's so many videos on it, like on YouTube and stuff, to show you how to do it. Marcy, I'm in the I'm still getting the course done and getting all the videos done. In fact, I've got to do some after this. And so I'm in the last stages of just polishing up the course and get it ready to launch. But I will probably do it next week. If it's not finished by next week, I'll do the pre-sale so y'all can get on that. So very soon. It should have been done at the end of last year. Things just came up. So, okay, guys, we are going on about 45 minutes. So if y'all have any more questions, please post them below. Again, if you're watching the replay, post the question and we can swing back around. Nita, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me.
This was so much fun.
Okay.
And I'll leave your link. Also, if you'll leave your link in the comments, and then I'll put it on the title and on the description, so that way people can find you too.
Okay.
How long have you been a member of Creative Living?
I think since the beginning of last summer, I think is when or maybe May.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking you had been in there for a while.
I found you on Facebook because your ads kept popping up, and then everybody that does the boutique designs has your header, or you've done a lot,
right?
Especially in Texas, almost everybody has your designs in it. And I was like, I wonder who makes those, and then that's how I found you. So I love it.
That's so funny. Yeah. Thank you. It's so much fun. I definitely have a fun business, and you know that too. Like any business you get to just create and like that, it's so much fun. Yeah, my target, I get a lot of people from Oklahoma, Texas, Washington, and Pennsylvania, which I cannot figure that one out because that's so random. But anyway, thank you, Cheyenne, for coming and giving us such good questions. Okay, y'all, I think we're going to wrap it up. I've got to get to it, and I know y'all need to get to it. So any last words, Nita?
Nope. Thank y'all so much, and just remember to stay positive and stay away from all the crazies.
Yes, definitely. If y'all need a dose of positivity, always come in here because I know we can surround y'all with it, because some days I'm just like, oh my gosh, I've got to get through today. But then I come in here and I'll say like, oh, everybody posting stuff, and it's just fun. Washington, how funny. I've been in this, I think, since it started. I just need to take the jump. Yes, Corey, because I've seen your stuff and you post such cute stuff. So get on it, girl. I know you can. Y'all just commit to yourself today to take some action, whatever that looks like. Like get in there, whether it's opening that Etsy shop or starting, to design, get on the course or look it up on YouTube, whatever you need to do. Ask for help. Like Nita said, email her, email me. We're always here to help each other. And so have a wonderful day, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys. Thanks so much, Nita.